This is the travel keyboard from Flying Tiger, and if you're in Europe, that's probably a company that you're familiar with. They did exist in America for a little bit, but they're not there anymore, a bit like their distant relative, the saber-toothed tiger. Basically, they make weird little trinkets of all kinds, very eclectic, kind of overtly low quality, but then also not quite as cheap as you might expect it to be. It's tat in the purest sense of the word, but also it kind of has a certain amount of charm to it. Like, not everything that they make is pure trash. So when I got gifted this bad boy a couple of months ago, shout out mothers, by the way, I was expecting some jank, but it wasn't immediately clear what kind of flavour or level of jank that was going to be. Because there's kind of a bell curve with toy keyboards, right? Plenty of musicians have used toy keyboards because they got a certain charm to them. But if they are like pure detritus, there's no point. And if they're kind of too fancy, then you've almost missed the entire point of using a toy keyboard in the first place. So it's between those two extremes of quality. That's where the banger zone lies for a toy keyboard. And so, I was curious where this was going to land on that scale. And so upon taking this out of its box, it turns out I'd have to wait a bit longer to find out how good it was, because they make this thing impossible to get into. I had to get a whole new screwdriver just to get into this tiny little gap to put batteries in it. Obviously the batteries aren't included, so I had to sacrifice 3 of my most treasured AA's to this thing. So I jumped through each one of those hoops, fighting the resistance of the Tiger travel keyboard at every step, and eventually I managed to switch it on. Here's how it sounds. Ooh. Okay, right, yeah, cool. It's real loud. There are volume controls over here. Oof. It would seem like it starts off on its loudest possible volume, which is excellent choice. So you really do just turn it on and get jump scared by that. Oh, okay. This does have a headphone jack, so let's plug it in, get some direct audio from this bad boy. So here we are, plugged in. We've got signal right at the source. And actually, it's currently turned off, but even still, would you listen to that noise? I have never heard a keyboard, or really any piece of electronic equipment, that is noisy before you switch it on. So it's an interesting innovation there that Tiger have made, but we switch it on, and we can get the audio directly from the source. So let's hear it. It's one thing off the bat is it does seem to sometimes add notes when you play them. Oh, that's not the note that I just played. I don't know why it's doing that. Whoa. Okay. Right. Fine. Sure. There's drum buttons here. Can we get drums? Oh yes, we can. It's hard to describe how unsatisfying these buttons are to press. Like, because maybe 10% of the time it doesn't register, and the other amount of the time, like, you're overpressing so hard, so you end up like really putting some strain on the old fingers there. But yes, those are our drum sounds. I'm actually a real stickler for like a crusty toy drum sound. So personally, I'm actually a decent fan of these. I think that a bit of sampling, a bit of manipulation, these drum sounds can probably be fashioned into something quite cool. So yeah, fine, absolutely fine with that. We got some rhythm patterns as well. Let's try that. Okay. Sorry, how do I turn it off? Not the the saddest clap ever. That's great. Okay. Sounds like I'm being shot down. Kind of like that one. Heavy, like, march bias. Okay, so that's our rhythms. There's buttons here for tone, tone 2, replay, rhythm and drum, and fill in, and 1 key. So do we get fills for these then? Okay. I'm going to press the fill button. Okay. Okay. What about for this one? Fill. I think it just plays a random different rhythm. Yeah, it just you press this button, no matter what the pattern is, it will just play a different random one. Fine, understood. Tones, there's tone buttons, so if I press tone 1, okay, it's cycling through different tones. Oh, that one's quite nice. You might notice that everything I'm playing is kind of white notes only, or I suppose here, colourful notes only. That is because the black notes are hideous to press. I mean, they kind of all are, but like the white notes, they're kind of okay. But to hit these black notes here, like they're so small, and because it's flat, like normally on a keyboard you'd have that upper ridge which helps you find them. They're so flat, which means you've got to like contort your hand. That does not feel good. Okay, more tones. That doesn't seem right. So those are our tones. I like kind of two of them. There's the little glockenspiel one. I kind of like that. And there's this one that kind of has like a muted piano sound. I think there is something to that. I kind of like it. We can press this replay button, and we get it's a delay, baby. It's well intentioned for there to be a delay here. It doesn't sound very good, so I'll probably be adding my own if there's delay duties that need to be happening. There's a rhythm button here, and I will be honest with you, I do not know what it does. It seems to, like, you press it, and it makes the rhythm stop, which is great. But there's also a button here called start/stop, which also causes the rhythms to stop, but incidentally not to start. So a head scratcher. There is one key button. There is S and F in the chords section here. I actually feel less certain about what it means after consulting the manual. I don't know what activate multiple fingers chords means. It doesn't work, basically. That function appears to do nothing. There is a lesson function, so let's learn from the travel keyboard. What does demo do? Okay, yeah. Well, there's several. Okay, that's fun. Oh. Can I replay those? Oh, I can't. Did they just get the notes wrong, like in the MIDI? It just seems to get the notes wrong every. Oh no! Stop! I dread to think what the lesson and record buttons do. Oh, okay. It just starts the demo. Okay. I don't. Am I learning? Okay, I pressed record. Oh, okay. So the replay button is a delay, but it's also a button to play the thing you just recorded. So if I'll press record again. What? And then I press replay. Okay, and while that's happening, I can't. Oh, I can add drums. Okay. Right, I think without doing any further processing or massaging of the sound, We've kind of explored the limits of raw this. So what I'm going to go do now, I think, is shut up. This is the face of a man who has spent 40 minutes chatting in front of a children's keyboard. But this is the face of a man who has spent the last 2 weeks, the hottest 2 weeks of the year, editing this man. Quite frankly, I have better things to do, so let's just get on with it. I bet a few of you are pretty happy that I'm using a mic stand this month. Guess what? You're not the boss of me, okay? So, yeah, never underestimate me. So, item 1, when it comes to trying to make this thing sound good, I'm sure you'll agree, it's those drums. They're the key to everything. And as I intimated earlier, yeah, I sampled them. You got the 8 drum sounds that are laid out on the pads here, but then you've also kind of got a secret 9th one. It's a bit like a clave. It plays when you hit the volume buttons, so I sampled that. So a lineup of 8 sounds up there. You notice what there ain't? No kicks, baby. So I took the liberty of making my own. The 8-button sampler, the conga drum sound from the keyboard, pitch envelope, bit of effect, bam. 10 kicks, you're welcome. All the other sounds I recorded completely in their raw forms to start with, no manipulation at all. And then I realised, oh no, they sound real bad. So there I went processing again. I gave each sound a little push, maybe tamed some of the more horrid frequencies that are in each one. And all of a sudden we got 10 variations of each of these. 15 for the hats, because I was having fun. So at the end of it all, processed versions plus raw versions, we got 114 brand new drum samples for me. Just for me, not for you. I ain't sharing them. I took a few of these samples into FL Studio, in case it wasn't obvious enough that I'm a goddamn loose cannon, and I did the thing I always do with a new sample pack, which is just put way too many of the drums on this step sequencer here, and cook up the cheesiest disco beat of my entire career, which sounds like this. Crazy, right? YouTuber makes beat. Who'd have thought? A couple points to mention. Number 1, I was just joshing you about the samples. We like to have a little fun on this channel. Yes, you can obviously have them. They're in the description, free, whatever, have at it. They'll come back in a little bit. But first off, I want to explore a bit more about the tonal possibilities of the keyboard. Speaking of which, it was during the production of the last track that I realised this entire thing is about half a semitone out of tune. So sorry if that was really bothering any perfect pitch heads in the audience. But yeah, for everyone else, let me just play you a quick snippet of what that track would have sounded like if I hadn't put any pitch correction on the keys. Regardless, here we are at my actual desk. I'm trying not to show you too much of it because it tends to get more and more chaotic the further I get into a YouTube video. But the important thing is that, whoa, check this out, baby. It's a hologram microcosm. Now, Hologram sent me this, no money or sponsorships or anything, but I did get this for free, so just know you are being influenced. You cannot trust me. And that being said, yeah, I like it. It's kind of got a bit of a reputation as the YouTuber make anything sound good machine. And so considering the whole concept of this video is make a bad thing sound good, you know, it seemed like a relevant opportunity to bring this bad boy out. Hey, would you look at that? I managed to get good sounds out of the Make Good Sounds box. Aren't I a little beacon of talent? Subscribe for more. But anyway, check this out. I told you that the drums were going to come back, and indeed, here they are. Because unbeknownst to you, I've been spending a little time on the Digitakt, slicing and dicing them into something that I guess resembles an IDM beat. If of course IDM stands for, it doesn't matter, just spam samples and modulation and hopefully it will sound good. Like this. Now that's my kind of drum groove. There's always something going on, which means it appeals to my ever-diminishing attention span. But what would happen if we combined that beat with these luscious textures that we just managed to coax out of this little combo? Let's make silicone electronica. I think we kind of got somewhere with that one, to be honest. I mean, it took a bit of doing, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Though I'm not sure exactly how much of that you can attribute to this being a great instrument. Before making this video, I did a quick kind of Google roundup of what people's thoughts were on these roll-up silicone keyboards. And yeah, I've never seen the internet more unified on anything. Everyone hates these things. And to be honest, yeah, I'm not sure I really like it either. The sounds are ugly, it does not feel good to play, in fact it often feels like it's actively fighting against you, and even though I've only had this thing a few weeks, it's already showing signs of falling apart. I do quite like the drums, but I already sampled those, you've got them, so yeah, in case it's not clear, I don't think you should get one of these. But here is my very slight internal conflict when it comes to just absolutely lambasting this thing. This is a Casio from the 80s that I found at a Spanish flea market. It has real keys, which is neat, but besides that, I gotta be honest, this is not so dissimilar from the Tiger keyboard. It also sounds distinctly crusty. It also is way out of tune. It has fewer keys and fewer sounds and fewer features and is monophonic. And yet, I don't know whether it's my inner hipster speaking, but I love this thing, certainly a lot more than I love the keyboard that I've just been bullying. And why is that? Is that just because it's old or has a more respected brand name or some kind of intangible aura to it? Genuinely, I don't know. But by the same token that weirdos like me fawn over this kind of keyboard, who knows, maybe the Tiger keyboard and things like it will be classics in 40 years' time. I certainly don't imagine that this was bathing in respect back in the 80s. I'm not really sure what my definitive conclusion is on this. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, but yeah, I just thought it was worth bringing up towards the end. Anyway, I'm bored now, so let's wrap it. You can do all the YouTuber things if you like. One brand new YouTuber thing for your consideration is that I've gone and added a couple of affiliate links to my description. So, should you choose to relentlessly consume products in hollow pursuit of fulfillment while also supporting this joker, you can do that now if you want. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Bye! So we can unplug this now, and as the manual suggests in Danish, we can rull mig sammen og tag mit med. Let's go.